Are you serious?
I've got a fire in my eyes. I'm burning brighter than the sunlight. You orchestrated my escape. Now I'm awake. I feel alive for the first time. You ignite the fire in my eyes.
Hello my friends. Welcome to one more edition of the Brother Marcos radio show, broadcasting directly from São Paulo, Brazil, to the whole world through the airwaves and the data flow of the Radio Redemption and Power Network and the KPOW Radio Network. Yes, my friends, welcome to 2017. Yes, one more year. We are approaching the 4th year of the Brother Marcos radio show, and in the show we try to warn you about the many tricks and traps that are set by the enemy of our souls, by Satan himself, through different philosophies, fables, ideologies that try to lead us away from the simple truth of the gospel. And my friends, that's I mean, it's every week it is something new. We're going to talk about the Alchemist, and if you don't know what the Alchemist is, it's it's the subject of a book, The Alchemist, by Paulo Coelho. Paulo Coelho is this this author that is the best-selling author, and very, very famous. Now he's a billionaire. Can you believe that? He's a Brazilian author, but now he's a billionaire who lives in Switzerland. Oh yes, he has the good life. And according to the Guinness Book of Records, he's the most translated author in the whole world, and one of the best-selling books in history. It's like he sold like millions upon millions. I think it's something like 60 million copies of this book, The Alchemist. So I think it's important for you to really understand who this guy is, because probably you yourself, or maybe someone that you know, a friend, a relative, they may have that book in their libraries, okay, just sitting on the shelf right there, okay? And he is kind of an important person to understand. And I'll tell you more. The whole subject of alchemy is a subject that is getting more and more promotion, because it really is a synthesis between the spiritual occultism and some kind of material magic, okay? It deals with the material world. And so when you are talking about transhumanism, about, you know, those guys that say that they're going to upload their minds to the computers, or they're going to live forever because they'll become androids with different mechanical parts, you know, all this kind of crap, actually. You know, and we think, wow, this is new. This is something that Elon Musk must be inventing right now. But I'll tell you, my friends, this is alchemy. This is alchemy. And this is like 2,000-year-old witchcraft. Okay? So we're going to talk a little about that. And I think, you know, this guy, it's interesting because I made a comment in one of... actually in an article about this guy, about Paulo Coelho on Facebook. You know, when they have they had an article about him, and the article was talking about the success of his book, and now that he had become a billionaire. Okay, and I said, unfortunately, you know, that's you get that by making a deal with the devil, but you lose your soul, and $1 billion will not really help him if he doesn't repent. And it's interesting that somehow he read the comment and he answered me. He responded saying, you probably must talk to the devil yourself. and he said something like, may Jesus bless you. And so it's interesting that a guy who is completely into devil worship, and you're going to see why in a minute when we start to understand a little about his biography and his previous work, okay? And he told that Brother Marcus is talking to the devil. Yes, my friends, that's how it works, okay? And then he says, may Jesus bless you. But which Jesus? Because his Jesus is not the Jesus of the Bible. And I sent a reply and I said, Paulo, your Jesus is not the Jesus of the Bible. Your Jesus is a fake Jesus. Okay? You need to trust the Jesus of the Bible, who is God and who died for your sins at the cross. Okay? Once you accept his sacrifice, then you can be in peace with God. Okay, but you have to find the right Jesus. So, in a sense, I preached the gospel to Paulo Coelho. So it's up to him and up to God, okay, to accept that word of salvation, okay. But I really think that he likes his $1 billion more, okay. Even though he's already old, he's not gonna really enjoyed that for a long time, even though he believes in alchemy. And alchemy, it's it's all about the integration between the material world and the spiritual world. So that's why, basically, my friends, these are the two reasons I'm talking about alchemy today. I think it's an important issue, and I'll tell you, they try to do things, to affect, to have an influence in the spiritual world. And they do that. That's what witchcraft is all about, okay? And we see rituals, massacres, and horrible things that are done. And many times they are done with the objective of having spiritual transformation, getting more power, and things like that. That's the basics of magic, okay, of witchcraft. Here in Brazil, we started the year in a very, very somber way, and we had a man. He divorced his wife, and I think he had this big grudge against her. I think that he was not able to see his son, and as usual, men. They really get the short stick, as Americans say, when they divorce. And this man, you know what he did? And this is no excuse, but anyway, he got a gun and he went to the New Year's Eve party where his wife was. I think it was the wife's family. And he shot dead 10 people there. 10 people. Killed everybody, including his son and himself and his wife. I mean, horrible, horrible tragedy, completely demonic. And we know that those things are happening more and more because people there are getting in touch with the occult. Sometimes they begin by reading Paulo Coelho. Oh, yes. And they move ahead to mediums, to occult practices like the Ouija board and things like that. So, my friends, we also had in the first day of the year a massacre in a prison in Manaus, in the Amazon, Amazonas, we call the Amazonas state. In the Amazon jungle, I'm sorry. Actually, it's a big city. It's a large city there, but it's in the middle of the Amazon, and they had like a rebellion there, so a prison riot. So what happened is that there was war between two different factions there. There's a faction that is called the Family of the North, and they are like drug dealers and criminals, and some people say that they have 200,000 members. And what happens is that those guys, they get to jail, but even inside jail, they keep running the show. They keep like controlling everything that happens outside. They tell who's gonna live and who's gonna die. They pass judgment for executions. They plan robberies, and they keep doing their things. And a big part of the thing is like, once you're part of these big mafias, your family keeps getting money from the brothers, even if you are in jail. Okay, so it's one of the obligations they have there. And those guys from the north, the Family of the North, the northern states of Brazil, they have ties to the FARC, the FARC from Colombia, the Marxist terrorists, the guerrilla terrorists from Colombia, okay? So they get all the drugs from Colombia, and they put that in Brazil through several different means. And from Brazil, it goes to, Europe or to the rest of the world, especially Europe. Not much. I don't think not much the United States, because the United States, basically, it's Mexico, The drugs come, they get into the States by Mexico. But to the rest of the world, especially Europe, okay, they do that. And what happens is that another faction from the south of Brazil, it's called the PCC. It's the first PCC. It's the first command of the capital city of São Paulo here. They were hiring criminals to their faction there in the prisons in the northern state of Amazon. And so they had this huge war. And I'll tell you, my friends, they killed like 80 people. Nobody really knows how many, but it's something like 89 people they were killed. They killed each other. And you know what they did? They decapitated more than 20 people. They decapitated. There is a picture, some horrible pictures. One of the guys, he decapitated this adversary, this enemy from the other faction, and he ripped apart his chest and got his heart out. Like it's like an Inca sacrifice or Aztec sacrifice. Something very horrible. And in more than 100, they escaped the jail. And so, my friends, that's what you get after 15 years of Marxism and treating the criminals like victims. That's what you get. Because, inside the cells, they had like fridges, king-size beds, they had television, they had everything that money could buy. Because how it works? The criminals say to the jail keepers there, they say, if you don't give me this, I'm going to send a message to the outside world, and they're going to kill your family. That's how it happens, my friends. And there's a lot of corruption. This is one of those prisons that are managed by companies, but it's a business. And so, the prisoners there, they cost almost $2,000 a month. Okay, because there's corruption, they get those great deals, the businessmen, because they really pay bribes to the government. They pay bribes to politicians and to people who make the decisions. And so now they're managing the prisons. So there's this big scandal. Brazil is shocked, as usual. And so it's a horrible way to start the year, with blood and decapitation, and people just having their hearts ripped off their chests, and a family, a guy going there and killing 10 people of his own family, including his son. So come on. And we listen to these guys, the alchemists, saying, oh, come on, we're going to see this magical transmutation. A transformation in society is happening. Okay, if there's any kind of transmutation in society, it's from human beings to crap. That's the only kind of transformation that I'm seeing here. We're becoming like Sodom and Gomorrah, and there's absolutely no kind of improvement in the human race. We're going downhill fast. In the United States, in the city of Chicago, 4 black people kidnapped and tortured a white boy just because he's white. Okay? So, my friends, that's what the devil wants, because God really made us from one blood. That's what the Bible says. We are all made of one blood. Okay? So we're basically the same in the eyes of God. But what the devil wants is to put blacks against whites and whites against blacks. Okay? And they have been really promoting this hatred. It's hatred of men against women, of women against men. They use feminism to achieve that. And different races, different ethnicities. That's what they do. They divide and conquer. They divide and conquer, my friends. They use Marxism, and now they're using libertarianism. We're going to talk about that in our next show, but basically that's the whole idea. Create chaos while they still keep stealing from us. The bankers, the globalists, the Illuminati, they keep stealing from us, and they keep just, doing their things. Nothing changes. The poor people, they're still poor. And especially the Christians, the real Christians, they're suffering a lot. So if you are suffering right now, my friend, you have to know that you are not alone. Okay, and the Bible also tells us that we have to find comfort in the fact that, people all around the world are suffering for their testimony that they are giving about Jesus Christ. That's the way it works. And the devil, you know what he does? He waits until you are down and you're depressed. You're depressed, you're worried, you're thinking about how you're going to pay your bills, how you're going to fix that problem with your son, with your daughter, with your marriage. Okay, you have that boss that just won't leave you alone. It's a pain in the neck. Okay, if you have a job, sometimes you don't even have a job. You don't have a problem with your boss because you don't have a job, but then you have other kinds of problems, about how to pay your bills, for example. And then, my friends, the enemy, he waits until you're down and out, and he'll say, God doesn't love you. God is not there for you. You've been a Christian all those years, and look at where you are right now. What you're going to do about it, okay? So just give up. It's just like Job's wife. When Job was really suffering, his wife told him, oh, come on, God is going to help you. Oh, no, that's not what she told him. She said, curse God and die. Meaning give it up. So basically the enemy was using Job's wife in order for him to curse God. He had nothing. Why would he curse God? Okay, that's all he had at that moment. And that's all that matters. But, it doesn't even make sense for you to do that. So hang on, my friends, because that's the time when the devil will try to tell you that God is not by your side. Okay? Even though the Bible tells us that even Even if I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. So we are going to walk through the valley of the shadow of death sometimes. Okay? That's a reality, and it's there in the Bible. It's there. But we have to know that God is with us, and that's why we will fear no evil. The Bible is plenty of advice and warnings, about how we should prepare for those bad, evil days. And the evil days are here right now. So many Christians suffering. It's like all around us. I talk to people, and people are having, good Christians having so many problems. So many problems. But the key, my friend, to achieving victory here is just hanging on. It's just one day after the other. Don't expect too much from you when you're down. There is time for joy and for crying. Okay, there's time for everything. That's what the Bible tells us to. So it's okay for you to just hang on. And just, one day after the other, just hanging there, and things will get better eventually. That's the way it is. Okay? All right, my friends, let's stop for a commercial break, and we will be back to talk about the alchemy.
You are listening to the Kapow Radio Show Network. Kapow stands for Kingdom Against Powers of Wickedness. Kapow is sponsored by Fifth Hook Media, a digital publisher of ebooks. FifthHookMedia.com has a selection of ebooks about spiritual warfare and Christian living. Visit FifthHookMedia.com. That's FIFTHOOK Media.com. Remember, that's FifthHookMedia.com. FIFTHOOK.
Kapow!
All right, we are back, and we are talking about, all this alchemy thing. That it's really gaining momentum. It's like everybody's talking about this, okay? And alchemy, what is alchemy? It's like this transformation of this world, okay? You have all the union, the mystical union of the spiritual world and the material world. And I'll tell you, my friends, when you talk about alchemy, you think about those crazy chemists, okay? It's like chemists with different potions trying to change lead into gold. That's the idea that we have. But that's much more than that, my friends. That's something that they believe for a long time. It's basically it's basically the root of the occultism. It's the as above, so below. It's like everything is the same thing. It started with Plato. It started with the Greek philosopher Plato. Many centuries before Christ, he was talking about the anima mundi. The anima mundi, what is that? He used to say, therefore, we may consequently state that this world is indeed a living being, endowed with a soul and intelligence, a single visible living entity containing all other living entities, which by their nature are all related. So, my friends, this is basically the Gaia thing of the New Agers. Okay? It's that idea that the earth is a living thing. It's a big spirit. Some people say that it is even a spirit that is paying its karma. Can you believe that? And it's like a spirit, like a person. Okay, but my friend, you would think that this phrase here came from a modern New Ager. Okay, but it came from Plato in his book Timaeus. Okay, this is this is what 400 years before Christ or 300 years before Christ. It's been going on for a long time, and it's the idea, my friends, that it's it's all possible to have this union between material things and the spiritual things. Okay? Because you know why they do that? Because we know there's something missing. We know that. Okay? Because we know that we live like just in part of the reality. Because we have these longings, we have this imagination, we have these feelings, okay? And we see this hard life that we have, okay? It's material, it's all about money, it's all about, gaining the bread, the daily bread by the sweat of our brows. It's like the curse of Adam that we have to face every day. And this is just so hard. And we know, there must be something more than that. But instead of looking for the real God of the universe, the creator of the universe, what they do is they think, oh no, we're going to find for ourselves a connection with the spiritual world. And that's the basis of the alchemy. That's why they say we're going to transform things, we're going to break things and then put them back together. That's what they call solve and coagula. Okay? First they solve the things, they break apart the reality, and they coagulate, they put them back together again in a different perspective. Okay? So it's a lot of, it's a lot of talk, actually. It's a lot of fables that they create. Because basically what they believe, my friends, what they believe is, it's occultism. Okay? It's occultism. They say, there's a lot of definitions here because, what they do is that they use all those fantasies and different stories in order to conceal the truth that is basically witchcraft. Okay? So you have all these ideas of dealing with gold and silver and astrology and everything, just in order not to tell you that this is basically occultism. It's basically getting contact with demonic entities and looking for Kundalini enlightenment, being possessed by demons and just looking and understanding the spiritual realm. That's what they do. But now, my friends, that we're getting to the end times, now that we're getting closer to the second coming of Jesus Christ, they're more open. They're very open about what alchemy is. So if you go to the internet, there's a lot of discussions, and they openly say that it's all about connecting yourself with non-physical, loving spiritual beings that will support you through your human journey. Meaning that, if you're an alchemist, you have to meet your demonic spirit guide. So they're not shy about it. They do just tell you it's all about, contact with the spiritual world. But they could not say that before because they lived in a very Christian culture. At least the church was very strong. Okay, the Catholic Church and before that the church, the primitive church, they were very strong. So if the guy would say, no, I want to contact the demons, they would burn him at the stake, or at least they would say he's crazy or he's a witch, which is the truth. But anyway, so they could not say that. So they would say, no, we're scientists, we're trying to find the secrets of the world. We're trying to find the secrets of nature, So it was a way to hide, okay, the things that they were doing. Because of the repercussions. They did not want to have the repercussions and face the opposition of society if they said, we're occultists, we're witches. So they would say, no, we are alchemists. We do our chemistry. We do our experiments. We do, how it works? That's how it works. But now they don't need to do that anymore. They just can say, no, now we're going to tell you the secret of the ages. The secret that has been occult for so many centuries. Alchemy is occultism. So now they're saying, you do inner alchemy. Okay, you listen to healing music frequencies. We have talked a lot about this in our show. Okay, you can use the latest technology to assist you in accessing the relaxed trance state. To get in trance, binaural frequencies to balance your left and right brain. It really sounds very scientific. The creative imagery, gentle healing music, subliminal affirmations, trance-inducing frequencies. That's what they're doing. There's more here. Another website of Alchemy. They say alchemists are contemplative researchers versed in the science of personal transformation and the art of inner magic. So the idea, my friends, is not to transform lead into gold, but transform your soul from a soul that can only see the material world into a soul that can go to the spiritual world, okay, and meet the demons and meet all the spirit guides and things like that. So you see that that's basically Kundalini awakening. It's all the same thing. Occultism is basically the same thing. It's all the same thing. It's all about contacting demons, okay. And they say here, the outer is the inner, and the inner is the outer. Okay, so everything is together. You are the world, and the world is you. Panentheism. You are God. God is in every way, in everything. God is everything, is everywhere, but is everything. It's panentheism. Okay. By changing yourself, you change everything. So you see, it's just a metaphor when they tell you about, the philosopher's stone, or about turning lead into gold. Actually, what they're talking about is you change your soul. That's what you do. You just give yourself to magic. You can be a light unto yourself, lit by yourself. You are the cosmos, and the cosmos is you. Again, Gnosticism. Here, alchemists saw the experience of unus mundus, the one world, united through material, emotional, mental, and spiritual aspects. So, my friends, that's what they say. That's what they say, and they're doing that when they're working with those things like transhumanism, like artificial intelligence. They're talking about this, the relation of the mind with the universe, because they say here, by altering your own consciousness, you alter your relation to the universe, and this changes your world. You see, so if you change yourself, you will change the world. There is a guy here that is, believe it or not, he's an idol. He's an icon of the conservative right wing here in Brazil, and he has getting some influence in the United States too. His name is Olavo de Carvalho. He's a con artist, an occultist, heavy occultist, but he pretends to be a Catholic. And he has a course on alchemy, believe it or not. And he says, I could not really understand this lecture, and the guy was talking about the moon and all the, of course, it was a lecture on occultism, and and that guy there was talking about the magical properties of the moon. And he said, but I was not really understanding what he was talking about. So what he did, he gave me some colloidal silver solution, that solution that you just put some drops. Oh yes, my friends, the homeopathic medicine is completely based on alchemy. And you're going to understand why. So he said, he gave me some drops of colloidal silver, and after I drank the silver, I understand everything about what he was talking about, the moon. And why, my friends? Because silver in alchemy is connected to the moon. So if you ingest the silver, because the whole universe is just one thing, because, it's all connected, and then when you ingest the silver, you will open your spiritual understanding to the moon, about the things of the moon. You see, because silver is the metal corresponding to the moon, because things are connected. And that's basically how they say that Bach florals, the flowers of Bach. They say that's how it works, and homeopathic medicine, they say, because what they say, you don't really need to drink the medicine. You just have the property, you have just some molecules of the medicine you put there in the, that's homeopathy. And then you drink that. But because the essence is there, it's going to have this big effect, because they believe in alchemy, that things are connected. Basically, your mind is connected with the whole universe. It's all about Gnosticism, my friends. Oh yes. And now they want you to believe that this is science. Oh. Do you remember Carl G. Jung? Jung was that he was a witch that passed as a psychologist, psychiatrist, but actually he was a guy that he received basically the text of all his books from spirit guides. Okay, he was a medium. He had visions. Okay, Carl Jung, but people love this guy. I mean, can't believe you were gonna pay like $100 for a session at a psychologist, and the guy say, "No, I'm a Jungian psychologist." Come on, that's a witch. That's a witch. But he would say no. He came with a whole theory of the unconscious mind, which is basically alchemy. It's basically occultism. If you have an unconscious if you have an unconscious element in humankind that is common to all people, it's not something that is inside your brain. It's like a spirit that is all-encompassing. It's a kind of God that permeates everybody. You see how it works? So what he said, you have to get in touch with the unconscious mind of the universe. And then you're going to learn things, you're going to understand how the human mind works, and you're going to have peace, and you're going to get better, if you get in touch with this God. Basically, it's a God, because if he permeates everybody, it's not inside your brain, it's not biological, it's not hereditary, it's just something that is there. It's like this living thing, that the earth is a living thing. Okay, but that's like a ghost, that he would call the unconscious mind of humankind. So basically the same thing. All right, so you do some kind of alchemy if you go there and have Jungian therapy, and how many people they're doing that and paying big bucks for that. You pay big bucks to go to the shrink, to the psychologist, and he will give you, a philosophy and sometimes exercises and practices that are occultist in nature. And that's what they do, my friends. They do lots of different things. They say the art of alchemy includes transmuting negative energies into positive. Clairvoyance, healing, and distance healing. Basically things that spiritists, they love. Because it's all about dealing with the energies of the universe. Transmutation of self and self-actualization. Reaching enlightenment. Of course that what they call enlightenment here is like total possession by a demon. That's what they call enlightenment. Because when you get possessed by a demon, sometimes the demon will really open what they call the third eye. You're going to see things. Okay? You're going to see other spirits. You're going to see demons. Okay? People, they leave their bodies sometime. Okay? Keeping the body healthy in slow in aging. Transhumanism here. Studying the principles of energy. It's basically, my friends, Gnosticism. Enlightenment is about having your physical, emotional, and spiritual selves in perfect alignment. Beyond enlightenment, you can still keep growing in power in the higher planes. You can access the entire universe from within you. Same thing. Okay? Inside you. You have the whole universe inside you. Okay? So that's basically, my friend, occultism. And lots of people, they played with this thing here, you know. It really started a long time ago. They say that it's, you know, they have all the mythology that they believe, but it's basically crap. They believe in a guy called Hermes Trismegistus. Hermes Trismegisto. Hermes the thrice greatest. He would be like a combination of the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god Thoth. And this Hermes Trismegistus, supposedly he's like the most powerful wizard in history, okay? And so powerful because, and some people say, oh no, he lived in the time of Moses, or sometimes people say, no, he lived in, you know, in Egypt. I mean, of course, he's a fictional character, he never existed, okay? But they say, wow, Hermes Trismegistus, he's fantastic because he wrote a thing. It's basically, it's actually a book called the Emerald Tablet. You know, and this is a very old book. People really say that actually it appeared in 400 AD after Christ, 400, the 4th century after Christ. And it's basically occultism, it's Gnosticism, it's New Age. If you go there and you read that thing, New Age, it's all there. It's not Shirley MacLaine, my friends. It's there because it was written by the devil himself. It's written by Satan. So it's not something new. And they say it's like the Emerald Tablet. And you know what they say? Why it's the Emerald Tablet? And they say, well, the tablet was found, according to the legend, by one of the soldiers of Alexander the Great in a tomb at Hebron, in the hands of the mummy of Hermes Trismegistus, defined as all alchemists' father. So you know, they say it's a book that was written in this jewel, basically, this green jewel, emerald jewel. But you know, there's more. There's more, my friends. They actually say that this tablet is a fragment of an emerald lost by Lucifer when he was cast out and fell to earth. Believe it or not. You know, because the Bible says that Lucifer had like jewels in his own body. Okay? And some people say even musical instruments and things like that, because he was like one of those strange archangels. Okay? And so that's what they say. That you see here the Gnosticism. It's the same idea all the time. Lucifer will bring the light. He is like the savior. You know, because he's going to bring the knowledge, the occult knowledge of the spiritual world. You're going to be enlightened. So this jewel, this emerald, fell from the body of Lucifer. And, you know, all the wisdom is there because Hermes Trismegistus, he wrote the thing there, the book, and alchemy is all there. But my friends, the difference now is technology. Now it's all about computers. We have the alchemy, but the alchemy is now called artificial intelligence. It's called uploading your mind to a computer. It's like transhumanism. You're going to be a robot. You're going to be a, you know, just android. But if you go there, you can go to any of the alchemy websites in the internet. They say the same thing. Through constant meditation and allowing divine light, the Lucifer light, to flow through you by the proper awakening of the Kundalini's energy, and the spirit core taking in more divine energy, a human being is able to activate the third eye, see things clearly in a cosmically conscious way, and realize that they are divine sparks, souls. Divine spark is a Kabbalist term. They are created perfectly in the likeness of divine supreme God. You are gods. You are gods. Just do a lot of witchcraft and meditation, and you're going to realize you are a god. Maybe you can take some ayahuasca. Now you can get some ayahuasca in the United States. If you live in New York, in San Francisco, in Los Angeles, you can have some ayahuasca. Okay, and then you don't need constant meditation, because we are arriving at the end times. They don't have time anymore for constant meditation in years and in years until you get possessed by a demon. You just get ayahuasca and you have perfect, immediate enlightenment and demonic possession. That's how it works. And you see, my friends, we are being bombarded with this kind of concept. It's all around us. It's in the movies, it's in books, it's in music. And here, The Alchemist. I told you that I was going to talk about this guy, Paulo Coelho. Do you think Paulo Coelho, he started as a writer? He was not a writer. He was a bum, my friends. He was a bum. He was nothing here in Brazil. As a teen, Coelho, who admits himself he was hostile and isolated at the time, told his parents he wanted to be a writer. Okay, his parents didn't like him. He was a rebel. He was, he was not a good kid, okay? And he had tantrums. So he went to the mental hospital 3 separate times, my friends. You know what it takes for a family to send their own son to a mental hospital? It really requires that the son is pretty much crazy and screwed up, okay? So this guy, he was since childhood, he was already possessed. He had problems with demons since he was a child. Okay? Then what happened, he got out from the mental hospital, went to school, but dropped out of university after 1 year and became a globe-trotting hippie through the 60s and 70s. He was a bum, he was a hippie, okay, drug addict. That's what he was. During this time, Coelho published the unsuccessful Hell Archives book. Yes, my friends, his first book was called The Hell Archives. It was published in 1982 and contributed to the Practical Manual of Vampirism. All right? But he mostly immersed himself in the drug culture and started to write song lyrics for Brazilian pop stars, especially to Raul Seixas. Raul Seixas was a crazy rock singer here in Brazil. He was an alcoholic, okay, completely crazy, and he died young from alcoholism. He was completely crazy. He lived not very far from here. He lived in Pacaembu neighborhood here in São Paulo, Raul Seixas. And this guy, he was just, like a groupie, okay? You call in the States, you call a groupie the guy that hangs around the popular singers, and he had some talent to write lyrics with demonic and magic themes that the singers liked, very interesting, okay. But what happened with this guy, he went to that Santiago de Compostela road, the pilgrimage that they do that. There in the Santiago de Compostela, it's very, very common with the occultists. They do that. It's a kind of pilgrimage that what they say, if you do a lot of meditation and prayers, and you really live close to the border of France, and then you walk like for a month or two until you reach Santiago de Compostela and the cathedral there, and they say when you get there you're going to be enlightened, things like that. So that's what he did. And then he had that's when he was there, he thought about his next book, which was The Alchemist in 1988. And basically he copied a short story by the Argentine writer Jorge Luis Borges called The Tale of Two Dreamers. He stole the idea from Borges and put in his book. And then when he came back to Brazil, he sold his book to a tiny Brazilian publishing house, which printed a minuscule first edition of 900 copies, which didn't sell because the book is really bad. I mean, it's a horrible book, okay? like in the literary sense. It's badly written, it's boring, okay? And decide not to reprint afterward. But you see how it works, my friends? How it works? Satan is always, he's always looking around for someone that's going to help his plans. That's what he does, okay? So sometimes he finds a singer and he thinks, well, these guys here, they could be very successful, you know, and they're really into occultism. They really like me. They don't like God. They are rebels. They don't, you know, they are depraved. They are pervs. And I could use those guys, okay? And then he will open all the doors for these people. That's how it works. Because he controls, you know, he controls people. You know, make no mistake. If a person is not a Christian, he's very, very open to suggestions in his mind, you know, from whispers from demons. Okay? I don't know how it works, but that's a fact. Okay? He can open doors for people. You know, they create like circumstances and coincidences that happen, you know. And he what Satan did here, he chose Paulo Coelho. He said, no, this guy, we can work with him, okay? And then this guy from this big publisher called Rocco, he published his next book, Brida, which is about, it's also about a witch. And also The Alchemist. And what happened is like this Alchemist book, they did some good marketing, some good promotion, and it shot up to the top of the Brazilian bestseller list. And then 1993, HarperCollins, the US publisher, decided to print The Alchemist, starting with a print run of 50,000 copies. Okay? But then, my friends, it like sold like bananas, like we say here in Brazil. You know, it's just crazy. And then, you know, sold millions upon millions of copies. And all, you know, that's how the devil does, you know. It's like, you know, you'll get someone like Oprah that says, oh, I just read this Alchemist book and it's so amazing, you should try it. And he'll get someone like Madonna, and she will say, oh no, I love The Alchemist. You know, he has one celebrity fans from Bill Clinton to Will Smith to Madonna. Yes, my friends, Madonna. That's how the Satan works. He will open doors. Madonna will say something. Well, I love The Alchemist. Will Smith, you know, the cool guy, very cool, rapper, actor. He'll say, no, I read The Alchemist. It changed my life. You know, and then he went to be like the most translated book by a living author. Translated into 67 languages. Sold more than 65 million copies throughout the world. Won several international awards. And it's basically a stupid story of a guy who dreams, you know, he just dreams about a treasure. And in his dream, he pursues his dream. It's a dream about, you know, the pyramids. It's about, you know, I mean, the story that he stole from Jorge Luis Borges, you know. He dreams about the pyramids and he thinks, okay, I'm going to go to Egypt and I'll find my treasure there. And he goes there and he meets a witch, a wizard, a guy that is named Melchizedek, but it's just a witch. And he almost dies and everything. And when he's there and finally he reaches the pyramids and he's almost dead, he dreams again about the same tree that you know that where he had the first dream, and when he goes back to that tree, the treasure was there in the starting point, you know. So the whole idea is that you let yourself be moved by the universe, not by God, because they don't believe that. They don't believe you know, like we believe that you read the Bible and you see the God's commands there, you know, like beginning with the 10 commands, the commands from God to Noah, and then the commands from Jesus Christ. You just go there and read the Bible and say, well, this is right, this is wrong, that's what I have to do, this I'm not supposed to do. Okay? No, they don't believe that. They believe in open yourself to the influences of the world and the universe. That's the story of the alchemist. And I'll tell you, it's alchemy, actually. It is. It's completely occultic. Because people really think that they're special. They really think they're gods. They really do. They're so narcissist today. You go to the Facebook. I mean, the Facebook I was reading the other day, when acquaintance of mine, this woman was like, which goddess you are? It's like a game, in Facebook. And I am like Diana because I have this and this quality and characteristics. That's how they really think they're gods now, and goddesses, especially women. I mean, men are more. I mean, it's harder for men to really believe in those things, I think. But women, my friends, they love it. They think they're goddesses now. It's amazing. And so this came really, exactly in the same perspective that the world now, it's basically what the world wants to hear. Okay, that the universe is conspiring to favor you, to help you. That the universe, everything that happens in the universe, is going to help you, is going to direct you. That's the idea of the alchemist. He goes all around. He starts, with a dream under a tree. I think it's in England or Ireland or something like that. And it goes all the way down to Egypt. And in Egypt, he has another dream that makes him go back to the starting point. And there he finds the treasure. So if you open yourself and let all the suggestions, it's all about opening yourself, not using your mind, which is basically Eastern meditation. That's the idea. That's what they're doing inside churches right now when they say, you're not feeling well. Instead of reading the Bible, you just do contemplative prayer. You just go to a silent place and you sit there in the dark and you open your mind. You don't think about anything and just let God, quote unquote, talk to you. They're talking this in the churches. They were teaching this in the church I attended for 20 years. That's why I left. Because it's occultism. And this is basically alchemy. You open yourself. You don't use your mind. Just let the universe carry you through life. You know where it's going to carry you? To hell. If you do that, if you live your life, you just open your mind, open your heart. The heart is desperately wicked. Who can know it? That's what the Bible tells us. You open your heart, you're guided by your heart. And come on, every movie, every song, every TV series, they say the same thing. Follow your heart. You're going to be happy if you follow your heart. Don't think too much. Be an alchemist. Just let the universe carry you through. Because magically the universe is going to teach you. Because, you are the universe. You are a God. So, you have everything it takes. But that's the contrary message of the Bible. The Bible tells us that we are wicked. That we have been corrupted by sin. By sin, there is not even one good person. Not even one, the Apostle Paul tells us. Jesus would call those people brood of vipers. So how can you follow a wicked thing like the heart? You know what the Satan wants you to believe that? Because if you believe that, you open yourself to him. And he's going to do whatever he wants with you. Put all kinds of thoughts, including going there and killing 10 people of your family. Or starting a war inside a prison. Or kidnapping a boy and torturing him. Like we see happening right now. Where do you think this comes? These things start. They start in the heart. That's where they start. Before those crimes are committed, they were imagined, they were planned, and fantasized, and visualized in the heart. And if you follow your heart, my friends, it's going to lead you to hell. It's going to lead to hell. That's why we need Jesus Christ. That's why we need the Bible. That's why we are the people of the book. So if you have questions, you are discouraged, you don't know what to do, hang in there. Read the Bible. And sometimes the Bible, it's a hard pill to swallow. It's a tough pill to swallow, because I'll tell you, sometimes it will say, just wait. Just trust and obey. It's not easy. Sometimes there's no quick fix. There's no easy solution. But to trust and obey. That's why without faith, it's impossible to please God. Because, I'll tell you, most of the time, that's what Christian living is all about. Is trusting and obeying, even though things are not well. But people, they don't like that. They want solutions, immediate solutions. They want quick fixes. They want, a magical formula. That's why they love alchemy. I want a magical formula. I want something that will solve my problems right now. Because I want to worship the gods, the idols of money, health, and sex. The triad that rules the world: money, health, and sex. Live long and prosper. That's what Mr. Spock would say. Live long and prosper, while he would do that Kabbalist sign with his hand. Because that's the gods that people worship now. But we are the people of the book. And even if you don't find a solution for your life, or for life, you will find a solution for your life in the Bible. But sometimes you will not find a solution for a particular problem that you are having right now, at the time. Okay? But there's a solution, and the solution is trust and obey. And just wait. That's the meaning of be still and know that I'm God. That's the real meaning of this verse that is, being corrupted right now. Be still and know that I'm God. Meaning what? Stop trying to find a solution by your own strength. Stop trying to find a solution by reading stupid books like The Alchemist, or trying witchcraft or magic or superstition. Stop trying, to work by yourself, and know that I'm God. Put your trust in God. Put your trust in Jesus. That's the real meaning of this verse. They say that it's no. Be still and know that I'm God means that you have to do Eastern meditation and be quiet. I mean, come on, how stupid can you be to believe such a thing and to distort the Bible? It really means that if you cannot understand that, it means that you have a serious spiritual problem. Because it's the Holy Spirit that gives us understanding about what the Bible is all about the meaning of verses. And they're teaching a complete, absurd, wrong interpretation of this verse. So be still and know that God is God. Stop looking for quick answers and trust Him. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it takes time. So what you do, you just go one step at a time. One day at a time. That's like the praise. I like the praise song. One day at a time. Sweet Jesus, that's all I'm asking of you. Yeah, and sometimes I'll tell you, most of the times that's what the Christian life is all about. And then you ask for joy. You start, having pleasure with the small things of this world. And just wait. Because things change. That's another big reality of life. Things change. Okay? And I hope, my friends, that things will change for the better for you. I really hope. that you will have a great year. That's my prayer for you. I pray that God will bless each and one of you that are listening to this show, that you have many, many blessings during 2017, and that you be transformed into the likeness of Jesus Christ more and more, that you receive the mind of Christ, that your heart be transformed from the wicked heart of stone to a heart of flesh, filled with the Spirit. That's my wish for you this year. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope to see you next week. Bye.